Hello and welcome to Science Fiction Remnant Live. I am your host, Robert.
And I'm the host that's not actually here, Ray. Well, it says some in the notes. I'm reading the notes right here. It says, Ray's not here. I was like, okay. You say so, Robert. See, Robert forgot that I live in the future. I'm actually future boy. So it's Saturday here. So I'm not actually at work.
Oh, awesome. And
we are houseless. I don't know where he's got to.
we have a surprise. We said that we're going to announce it. And this is one of the benefits of our lives. We're going to be announcing things like this all the time. So if you get to watch us on live, you get to hear things that are pretty much in the future, like our very own mad scientist. Tomorrow we have a premiere episode, and this is something what we've been hyping all the time, not only on our socials, but we're hyping that all throughout, our Discord. But what I wanted to say is, you're probably seeing different faces right here. So if you were in our live last time, you notice it was just me and Captain Chaos. Now we have the mad scientist, and you have a new face, and he's our new host. Bree, welcome to Science Fiction Memory Crew. How you doing? How you feeling?
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here and part of the live stream, and I'm so glad you were able to make it, Mad Scientist. I mean, Australian time zones.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's one of the hardest time of coordinating the show is time zones. They're a thing. They're a thing.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah, it kills Robert, especially when he's been at work all week. His brain's melted. And
Yeah.
he just doesn't.
It's
It just
Friday.
doesn't
We
work.
don't know. Like everything just leaves our minds on Fridays.
I don't brain well. I'm already wasted away.
It could have something to do with your brain running on Windows
Caffeine and
3.1.
espressos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
Straight espressos.
he's still using Notepad, so obviously his brain runs on
Hey,
Windows 3.1.
Notepad is great. I use it every single day. That's where I keep my notes. It's called Notepad. It makes
The
sense.
font hurts my brain.
I mean,
Well,
I mean, it's pre-Matrix. Come on.
is that because you can keep it in dark mode? Is that what it is?
Yes,
I do like
exactly.
dark mode.
Dark mode is awesome.
Oh,
Stop hitting on the notepad. It's perfect.
so I wanted to mentioning the fact that now we have a new host. That there's a new I want to say era in our show. I want to kind of look back at where we started, where we are today, and where we go in the future. So with that in mind, I just want to bring it up to all of us here and see if we have a specific memory for this show. And I guess I'll start because I want to get back all the way to the beginning
Are
and give you guys.
you sure you want to go there?
How long ago was that?
I listened to that, Robert.
Not really, but Ray, before I start, what did you think?
Well, I'm trying to be kind.
Oh my gosh.
It was a good first effort for somebody who had no clue what he was doing.
Oh, absolutely no idea.
I mean, it's the same. Like we started like 5 years ago. We started Radio Chaos for the Alita live stream, and we had no clue what we were doing there either. And when I was asked, well, I wasn't asked to host it. The question was asked, who's going to be the main host, and there was just dead silence. And I just went, look, I'll do it if all you guys are too chicken. And it was just dead silence. So I know what it's like pushed up front and have to start something from scratch. We had no theme tune, we had no show notes, we had no program, we had nothing.
Just Notepad.
Just knew that we wanted to get information out there about something we were interested in. So yeah, it's one of those things where you start with nothing and you work it out as you go. And Robert understands that entirely, don't you, mate?
Oh my God, yes. All I know is that I wanted to talk sci-fi. That's all I wanted to, and I wanted to create something. I remember from like years back, right? This is and I did actually write an article that you guys can you're welcome to read. It is on Substack as well as our website, Science Fiction Remnant, that kind of describes in detail where where my mentality was and where my ideas came when I wanted to create this show. But I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I needed. So I started with my iPhone.
This is what you needed.
Yeah, nice. At the time, I was reading a book called oh my God, they Disney made a movie about it, and it was calming. But I just finished reading that book,
Black
uh,
hole?
Artemis Fowl.
Mm. Oh, yep.
So I read the book. I still have not seen the movie because I think Our Own Captain Chaos scared me because it said it wasn't good. Um, but I remember our first episode. It was very short. I honestly can't remember how long it was of memory right now, but it took me about 2 weeks to write. It was heavily scripted, and
First mistake.
yes, well, I
Okay.
guess it works for some people to be scripted. Um, but I guess for me, scripting shows it just doesn't work. But I remember I hated it when I was recording it as well, and I thought that it has to be something else that we could do. And I believe that's when I had the idea of having um, just a conversational style show. Only because our very own Captain Chaos at the time used to live in my house. And I remember we're watching some sci-fi shows, and there we
8 minutes. Artemis Fowl was 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Now,
Oh,
8 minutes
wow.
for 2 weeks of writing, yeah,
Oh
that's
my gosh.
not even worth it.
It's dedication.
So I remember we were sitting down on the couch with Captain Chaos. We're watching movies. We're pausing. So that's where the thought that you guys have heard so many times on the show, where an hour show could become 2 or 3 hours long because we're pausing and talking about it. And I'm like, okay, we're watching John Carter in 3D, and I was like, okay,
Nice.
would you like to come on the show as a guest and talk about John Carter? And he said, yeah, sure, let's do that. So I got some really poor mic equipment connected to my poor computer at the time, and we recorded that episode. Um, I really enjoyed that episode. We really got good response, and that's when I said to Gio, hey, what do you think? You want to come on as a regular? And that's basically the start of season 1 of
Yes.
and I am kind of glad that this happened because it makes it a lot easier for us to be completely unscripted. I feel it's kind of like my jam, basically. So
It's really hard to monologue unscripted. It is really hard.
yeah, yeah.
There's nothing to bounce off. You're just completely screwed.
But it works for a lot of people. There's some shows that I like that are heavily scripted. That's just not me.
No, I think it's good to have something to start from or notes to go back to if you get stuck, but having an actual conversation is something that's lacking in the society right now. So, especially about movies and like everyone has their different point of views. So, it's fun to hear what everyone else has to say about the same movie.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a segue, right? So one of those episodes that we did, it was called Alita Battle Angel, the movie.
Oh yeah.
And we were so excited about this. I mean, we watched this movie. I was actually a lot more excited than Captain Chaos because I remember seeing this back when I was in high school, I think the OVA, and I was really excited that this. I didn't even know why I didn't know that this movie was out, but as soon as it was announced, I had to watch it. And we made an episode, and then we got comments from a certain, individual
Annoying Australian, yeah.
Was it?
that
Go on.
there was a great episode. You guys have so many good things, so many things right, and of course, I'm not saying verbatim on how it was said, but you guys have so many things right, but oh boy, so many things wrong. And I was like, yes, I got to talk to this guy. So we went in because you knew me. If you watch this episode long enough, you know that I love perspectives, and I want to hear your thoughts. Right? Um, little did he know that I did some things on purpose until he joined the show.
Oh, no.
So
Got him.
we invited him over for we wanted to cover the OVA just so we can have him over. And then after that, I invited him over to come in to be a regular on the show. And that's where season 2 came out. And of course, we're talking about our very own mad scientist. So what was your experience, Ray, coming from listening to the show to actually being a host of the show?
Well, it was really interesting. I mean, the fact that in your first season you covered a huge number of IPs I absolutely love, and then other ones that I had no idea about. It was just such a mix. Oh, it's a chaos.
What's up?
He got here.
Hello.
Now the party started.
Yeah, we can properly party now, chaoses. So yeah, it was one of those things where you were having these really interesting discussions, and I think the moment I decided I had to at least guest on your show was when I was listening to your discussion about Pitch Black, which is
Love
one
the
of my
Riddick movies.
one of my favorite movies. I love the whole
The whole Chronicle of Riddick, and yeah.
The whole Riddick thing is just like my jam. It is so good.
I'm laughing.
You know,
I know.
wouldn't you like to listen to Vin Diesel with like helium gas talking like a minion?
I would like to
Could be
hear him
interesting.
talking anything.
Okay, Ray, go ahead because I want to know. I want you to get to that point because I'm laughing about it already.
Yeah. So there's this big discussion going on about multiple star systems and orbits and what's orbiting what. And Chaos was just going off his nut, and I'm like trying to follow it, and I'm like, "What the?" I mean, it's interesting, but I can't follow it. And I listened to that show like 4 times, and I go, "Nut, still can't follow."
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I got to get on and talk to these guys.
Hey, I did it with a good heart, even though I was lost.
Seriously, I mean,
It makes
getting
sense
somebody
in my
to listen to
head,
something 4
okay?
times. It worked. But yeah, so many awesome awesome IPs, and I think the one that I felt most bummed about when I saw it come out, I'm like, oh no, they've done it already. Shit. Was Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, which is one of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies.
Love Khan.
And the fact that you'd already done it was like, oh no, I feel so ripped off. I so wanted to guest on that show, and then I thought to myself, you know what? I need to get on this show like more often than guest. I think because it's just too interesting and too much fun. I want to be part of it. And
Not scientists, Operation Infiltration.
That's right, exactly. Season 1 was winding down. COVID hit. We all had too much time on our hands. We were all looking for something to talk about that wasn't, the world spiraling into dystopia.
It kept each other sane, right?
what better to do than talk about sci-fi? And Chaos was rather occupied. His life was keeping him busy, so they weren't recording at the time. And I'm like, well, I contacted Robert. I said, hey, Robert, I had so much fun on the show with you guys for the OVAs and correcting a few little problems you had with the movie of Alita Battle Angel, which you still need to watch, Brie. Yep. she's looking away. So yeah, we'll get you there eventually. You'll be a fan too. I said, well, do you want me to come on as a guest, and it'll be me and Robert, saying Gio's busy. So we did the very last episode of season 1, which was Darling in the Franxx.
Oh my God, yes.
And that's a very divisive IP. It makes sense up until about episode 6, and then it just goes bonkers. And we had a really good discussion.
I still don't like the robot designs for Darling in the Franxx. They could have done better.
It was very etchy. Yes, I admit. But it was a really interesting discussion talking about anime in general and sci-fi, and why so many are pitched at high school, because the Japanese think that high school is the pinnacle of existence, and then after you finish high school, it's all downhill.
Sounds about right. Just kidding.
So we did Darling in the Franxx, and then there was a big sort of layover, and then Robert comes to me and says, Darling in the Franxx is our second most downloaded episode for season 1. And I'm going, really? And behind 2001: A Space Odyssey. And it's like, you brought a real dynamic and interest to the show. We'd like you to have come on and be part of the crew. And I'm like, yeah, baby, success.
Finally,
success. So yeah, we now the way Robert treats the seasons is that if there's a big change, it starts a new season, and obviously getting a third host on.
Ray, will you be our co-host?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I'll put that on my. We did a whole big revamp of the show, sort of the layout of the show, and added segments and put some science in at the end, and put through a plot in, because I thought actually the people having context about what we were talking about was important. And the show developed into what it is now, which I think's a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah. It's the excitement of my week to get together with these guys and talk about sci-fi and what's going on in science and all these interesting things. And it really, like, coming out of COVID, it made me a lot more buoyant than I would have otherwise been. And during I think it was the second year I was on the show, I had open heart surgery, which was, oh boy. Yeah. And they had a lot of fun. I've got the zipper just here to prove it. All through that, Science Fiction Remnant has been like this light of enjoyment in my life, which I really appreciate, getting together and talking about one of my favorite things, which is obviously
Oh, yeah.
And
nice.
Would it be safe to say that you stopped talking about conspiracy after that because they put a wire on you?
Yeah, I'm very cautious now about what I talk about.
Chip inside of you.
You can't help yourself. Captain Conspiracy Chaos is his full name.
Yeah, because that's our roles, That's how it is.
And so I'm really looking forward to the expansion of the crew with Bree joining us, and bringing even more craziness and hilarity and fun about sci-fi with yet another perspective, which should make things even more interesting. So I'm looking forward to it, Bree.
Yeah. So we kind of jumped over Chaos here because he was obviously a little late. But basically, I want to hear his perspective. He basically was the first full-time host on season 1. when I didn't know what the heck was going on and what was it that we were going to do. So, Gio, do you remember, and just bring your perspective, from back when we started in season one, we recorded John Carter, and what was, that was your very first episode as a host. And after that is when I asked you to come in, if you like to be a regular. Uh, I mean, that was your first episode as a guest, and then after that, I asked you if you wanted to come in as a host. So, what was your perspective on that?
I mean, it was my first episode as a guest, but it was not our first 3 hour conversation about some sci-fi we love.
Oh yes.
I remember that I kind of helped you brainstorming on the first episode when you were doing it. I feel honored that you made me part of that process too.
Mhm.
So I remember when you tried it and you didn't like it,
Oh
and then I remember you and I brainstorming about trying to make it a conversation format
yes.
because it was more relaxed. We try to like just throw out the window the whole script thing because the way that I think, even though I am disorganized and I have raging ADD, I try to make the best out of it. So, and that's the good thing about a conversation about you like is like you just can let it flow, and you can have like kind of little pinpointers. That's how you and I came out with like the first thoughts, favorite scene, last impressions. So even though we didn't have a plan and we would just jump back and forward because it was just like we were doing on the conversations on the movies. And but basically that would be our idea of getting an instructor for making a show because it was just a conversation format between buddies, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. It was just an
I remember we even would say in every episode, we are not a review podcast.
Oh, and another thing that we did say a lot was spoilers. Spoilers. Lots of spoilers.
Love spoilers.
And then I started getting comments from people that were listening to the show. It's like, can you just put it on the spoilers? I mean, I already know you're going to spoil it, so no need.
I think it's the trauma of people that would go into our episodes thinking that we're watching a free movie on YouTube.
Well, I've had two major spoilers in my life, thanks to friends, to two big sci-fi IPs that was really painful. So I think mentioning spoilers is important for new listeners. I really do. Because I had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man spoiled for me before I went to see Ghostbusters for the first time. And I had The Matrix spoiled for me. Because I foolishly asked the guy who was very straightforward when we were sitting there, and he'd already seen it. And I said, I joked to him, I said, "What is The Matrix?" And he told me. I was like, shit. That ruined it.
Oh, why'd you ask?
I was just dicking around. I said, "So what is The Matrix?" And you blah, 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 blah. I was like,
There you go.
Stop speaking.
You asked for it, you got it.
Mhm.
So I want to fast forward a little bit to a movie that was brought up to us by a guest that I did not know it was as good as it was, and I really really enjoyed it, and I invited that person to come in as a guest to do this episode called "What Happened to Monday." Um, we had so much, and I invite everybody out to go into our back catalog and listen to that episode, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Chemistry was there. And fast forward a couple of years after, I figured we're just right now we're just three guys talking, right? And I love perspective. And I had a feeling that we might not have a full perspective because we don't have the a female point of view. So then I reached out to that guest and asked if they wanted to come in to the show. Um, Mainly because of the chemistry. There was a lot of chemistry in that episode, and I'm very glad that this person said yes, because we have had some episodes already, which you guys are going to start seeing, where you can tell that that was correct. I mean, you don't have, if right now, if you want to experience that, all you got to do is go back and listen to that episode, or go watch it on YouTube, and you know what I'm talking about. But tomorrow there's going to be the audio version of that episode, the very first episode, where our brand new host Bree is is joining our crew. And Bree, I wanted to get your perspective, uh, from being a listener, being a guest in the show, versus now being a full-time host of the show.
You know, gosh, when did I met you guys maybe in 2021.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been 4 years, and I was working with Rebel and Dwight and like Dawn from Game On Pod, and like I love sci-fi. Like I watch Star Trek all the time, and like I can quote Battlestar Galactica. Like I sci-fi has always been a part of my life. Growing up, I watched Star Trek all the time, and Star Wars, and all of those fun movies. And and when I heard your episode, we met on Twitter back in the day. Like, you guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. Like, I guess it wasn't a script, but I didn't know. Like, I just, I had fun. I talked to you guys. We laughed about stuff. We made jokes, and we just had a fun time. So when we did What Happened to Monday, and I was like, you guys have to do this movie. It's hilarious. I mean, it's great. It's not hilarious, but it's a really good movie, and you should watch it.
Super
And you guys
good and
listen.
interesting.
Like, you listen, you're like, okay, let's do it. You want to be on? And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And it flowed pretty smoothly from there. And that was definitely one of my more favorite episodes to record. And now you guys have just blossomed into something amazing. Like, there's more structure, but it's also like live. Like, there's
There's
no
Ray.
so, and I like what you guys do with little segments too, and having the science at the end. Okay, that's pretty genius. Like, the mechanics of how something works.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to be part of it because I'm pretty nerdy.
Oh, we all.
And I mean, even on the back of my car, I have Spock, like, live long and prosper. And some
Nice.
people are like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Okay, don't get me started, because like, I won't."
Have you got a couple of hours? I can give you the short explanation.
I could be like, "Hey guys, let's talk about Star Trek." But I love that stuff.
Yes, Gio. Yes, you will get structure. I'm here.
It is. It's structure. I like the different segments. That makes me happy. Like, and then you guys talk about, like, when you first watch the episode, how many times you watch the episode, what's your favorite part, and I love spoilers too. Like, I read the end of the book before I read anything else of the book, and whenever a new movie comes out, I read the synopsis just so I know what to expect, and I still get the same enjoyment out of it. So it's just something I like to
That's
do.
that's
Set
something you and
expectations,
Gio.
right?
Hmm.
What was that?
That you always set expectations. I'm the same way that her. You guys are always afraid of spoilers, and what am I always like? Yeah, tell me, tell me.
I love it. I like, don't just say you've seen the movie. Like, tell me you've seen the movie, and I watch it with you. I'm gonna ask you what happens, who dies, like, how does it end. So just give me all the answers up front, please.
Yeah, and to that point, if you don't know by now, we spoil. I mean, if you go into our show and you see a 2.5 or 3 hour long, you know that we're going to spoil it. We have to spoil it.
You can't have a deep discussion without going into the details.
That's the thing. We don't spoil it. We dissect it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. That's a better word.
yeah. So, one of the most surprising things that I have heard from our listeners is there are people out there that have not watched the thing that we're covering, and they're waiting to hear what we think about the thing before they watch it. And that was surprising to me,
We
considering.
become some kind of security net. Like, if you don't like him, I don't want to watch that shit.
I mean, it's an investment to watch a 2 hour, 3 hour movie. So I want to know if it's good.
But we had that episode
appreciate
that goes
it.
for 2.5 hours on a 12-minute movie.
Yes.
So I don't know that works.
Yes. But yeah, that's like really cool to hear for me that there are people out there. Considering in season 1, I was so scared that people would come in and get turned off because of our spoilers, and that's the reason why if you go in to listen to our season 1, in every episode there's like spoilers, spoiler warning, like overdue, like overused all throughout the entire, because I was afraid of that. And it turns out that no, we have listeners that would listen to us first before they and that's very surprising to me. Very surprising.
I think it's more a case of vetting. And I did actually do that a bit when I was listening to season 1. The ones that I knew already were like no-brainers, so I'd just go listen. The ones that I thought I might want to go see, I'd go see it and then listen. And the ones that I thought, it's a bit fringe, I don't know that I'll put the time in, I'll just listen to you guys and get the download from you guys. So yeah, I sort of used it a bit in that way, but I still prefer not to be spoiled about the big moments because I enjoy them. The big reveals.
But you even if you get it spoiled for you, it's a shock of what happened. So it's the same thing as watching the movie. You just know ahead of time, and it's the same shock, but at a different time.
You're prepared, so when you watch it,
Yes.
you're prepared.
And you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it really is."
Robert needs to be prepared. We should talk about Robert needing to be prepared, actually, because we have a rating system of Robert approved and not Robert approved. Anything that would push Robert's heart rate over 120 BPM is not Robert approved. One particular one that Gio and I recorded alone without Robert's inclusion was Inoyoshiki, Last Hero.
You should watch that one, Brie.
It is a great little anime, but there, I think it's episode 3 or episode 4, there is a horrific murder of an entire family.
Bang, 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 bang.
It is brutal, and it's quite confronting. And Robert will be
We're laughing about it. Oh my god, poor Robert.
But the rest of the anime is like freaking amazing.
I mean, the graphic and the design in it is.
You have to be some kind of psychopath or sociopath, Ray, to make it through that scene really and not question the whole show.
Well, my mouth went dry. It was like
we're fucked in the head and we're okay with that.
Oh wow.
Could be worse.
That scene left me like laughing, but I felt like something died inside of me when I watched it.
Yeah. I feel rather concerned and disturbed, and he just laughs. So.
I would be with Chaos and he laughed.
But I mean, you can ask Robert. What the only thing I complain on spoilers is when they tell me it's gonna be bloody or something, and then there's not enough blood or enough suffering. You know?
Yeah, his expectations get very high.
Yeah.
I mean, if something says horror or like violence, you would think that there was a lot of it, not just like a crappy.
But that's the crazy thing. Like, I'm not a horror person.
Yeah, I watched Panic Room. It was under horror, and I was like, okay, cool. This could be really good if you do it right. But they didn't show anything. It was mediocre, and I was kind of really disappointed that I watched Panic Room on Netflix right now. It's like I just wasted an hour and a half of my life, and it wasn't even that good.
What they should do is rate it as, like 50s horror or 80s horror, because they're completely different things.
Yeah.
No, they can just use the Robert rating.
Robert, you would approve of that one. There's like no blood. There's nothing in it.
Well, that's not necessarily the case because Robert can get very tense about scenes that Gio and I are like, eh?
Yeah. I'm very complex. Like I'm loving Event Horizon and Aliens, right?
Yeah.
And Event Horizon, just think about that.
Yeah.
That was horrible, and I like it.
Yeah.
But it's so creepy.
Oh, Angelus! Shout out, Angelus! I was chatting to us, man.
Oh yeah, g'day, Angelus. How you doing?
Nice.
He's on YouTube. No, he's on YouTube.
Nice.
We should actually at this point shout out to all the different platforms that we're on. Didn't you want to do that?
Yeah.
And
So
actually, Angelus was asking to ask Robert for all the IPs that he has just to watch and never saw before.
I just know the hate is, I hate him, with a heart. Because all the episodes, well, not all of them. That's
What do you mean? You don't like that song that has the "So get away and never let you feel that you wanna live in
oh my
this
god, that
world?"
was a good show, but it destroyed me. It destroyed me.
So what you wanna do, what you wanna
And
feel.
jealous. I gotta thank you for upgrade. That was another one.
Yeah, Cyberpunk, bro. It's like you have a special place in my heart, like a knife, very, very
A
strong.
knife, like a knife.
I love it so much, bro.
Yeah. So Angelus and I have a love-hate relationship with his.
Every fan of Cyberpunk does, right? Right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's like a toxic relationship because you love it, but it hurts you.
Aw.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When Becca got squashed, I was heartbroken.
Yeah. Yeah. So another thing that I wanna bring up, and Bree might not be exposed to this yet, but will be, is whenever we have authors and directors and writers in our show,
Oh, always the best.
it's I just have to mention that because we have so much fun. Because since we're dissecting in most of our shows, we kind of assume and we kind of make our own intelligent conclusions or unintelligent conclusions, depending on how we feel that moment, about the thing that we're covering. Because since we dissect this, sometimes we go into things that had remained unsaid, had remained unseen on the thing that we're covering.
Or
And
they're left up to the viewer to decide.
exactly.
Mm.
And it is so freaking amazing to have the person who actually created the thing, so we can actually ask, was are we right? And let me hear your perspective, Chaos and Mad Scientist, about this. But in most cases, we are so giddy because when we
Like so
say
gross.
the thing that we said and the author said,
It's
"Oh
true.
God, it is true. You got me. You saw the thing that I put it in that most people did not get." What is your thoughts on that? I mean, we have a couple of them under our belt.
Levels. Oh my god,
Oh my God, I
that
love.
was so good. I knew nothing about that movie going in, and I watched it. And I'm like, oh, 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 and then we got to talk to the writer straight afterwards, and I'm like, can I ask you a couple of questions? And was that the one where we had to chop bits out because he overspoke and then had to retract some of the things?
No, that was wife-like.
Oh, Wifelike. Yes, that's right. Yeah, we got the writer of Wifelike. We got him so excited with our discussion that he overshared, and then we had to edit bits
Oh
out because
no.
they were NDA for the
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah.
So it's like we know stuff you don't know.
And we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun to, like, even though I don't really idolize anybody, like I appreciate some actors and actresses that are not really Hollywood very famous. And he got to like have Jonathan Rhys Major to work with him, which I really like his work and his music, which is not very known. And like it was kind of fun to ask him about that too, and like to like kind of see how that ambience behind the scene is of making the movie and the process of how the actors also like involved themselves on the movie making. It was a nice experience to be able to talk to him freely about all those things.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that really comes across whenever we get to speak to writer directors or just writers of particular IPs, and when we've really enjoyed them and we've sunk into the conversation, I think it's mutual appreciation, because a lot of the times when you watch something like Empire Strikes Back or something like that, that's one of those classical. It's been around your whole life, and you've watched it hundreds of times, and it's just one of those things that's part of the fabric of your sci-fi um, knowledge and understanding. You put it up on a pedestal, and it's like it's this amazing thing. But then you get to talk to writers and directors, and you see how much of their sweat, blood, tears, and soul went into that work.
Yes.
And I know myself, writing my own novels and in the middle of writing a sci-fi at the moment, and the amount of time, effort, thought, and your personality goes into working on something like that. It's just amazing, and I think one of the best things that you can ever have is live people talking to you and waxing lyrical about how wonderful what you created was. So I think that not only do we get a huge amount out of having writers and directors on, but I think they get a huge amount out of it too, because they're all very thankful. And if they can spare the time, they all hang around and talk to us afterwards and thank us for having them on and want to come back when they produce their next thing. And we've got a couple of things lined up in the future where when they produce a new work, they're going to come on and talk about it. And we're going to get, early access and all that sort of thing, because they know that we appreciate what they do, and they appreciate that we appreciate it. So it's
Because
mutually beneficial.
if you think about it, Ray, and correct me if I'm wrong, but on usually and generally, for all the wrong reason, but it's fine. But the fandom follows the actors, and although they're great at what they do, so many movies, some of the times, if it's not a series that you work for years, or a movie like Lord of the Rings that you like, it was part of your life because it took more than a decade. You're not really gonna remember everything bit by bit, like the writer and the director that
Yep.
invest their soul on making sure everybody was the personification of each character given by the script.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I totally get when you say that the writers and directors, above all else, really do enjoy and appreciate those talks. Because, like, usually people that go to the actors, if it's not recent, they might not even remember or just go like, yeah, but keep it superficial because of that. And you cannot really blame them. They're not computers.
Yeah, and,
Well,
and
it's true.
that explains why we haven't had, and I don't, well, I shouldn't say we never would have in the future, because we are open to any person that wants to talk in the show, but actors, in the show, because I understand actors, they kind of go in, they deliver the lines, they do a professional work, and they move on to other projects. And it's very different. I mean, there's always exceptions, like there's a lot of exceptions out there, but there's something different about a director and a writer. Those are the people that will, they created the story, they forged the story in a way that we can enjoy it, and they have a better recollection of who is who, and who did what, than the actual actor, who in most cases, if you realize, they may even record their scenes completely out of sequence. So it is
Yeah.
kind of hard not to it's kind of hard for an actor to know what's going on in the movie unless they watch it. And because they have so much stuff that they're going on, they might not even have time to watch the thing that they cover, because they are tied to two or three other projects.
Well, that's the thing, that the actors are the ones that are the face of the movie, but they didn't create it. They're just playing parts in it. So when we get writer directors on, they're the creative, like they created it from nothing.
I think that the
And
actors is more of an individual calling how much they feel enamored with the work they're doing. That's kind of get them involved
yeah,
intrinsically.
that can vary highly, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the writer director's baby. So,
Yeah, absolutely. They live, breathe, and eat it.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, those discussions are fantastic, and I look forward to future ones. Never skip those ones, Bree. if you have to rearrange your entire life to be on to speak to a writer director, do it, because it is so worthwhile.
That's fun.
The moments that I can recall is like, for example, one of our favorites, Adam Stern. The very first episode that he came on to talk to us about was about the little short film called FTL.
Yeah.
And I remember that discussion. I was a little nervous because you guys started with the okay, the helmet. You guys remember the conversation of the
Oh
helmet?
yes. Oh yes. That was me. That was my fault.
So go ahead and explain a little to the audience, what happened during that conversation. And again, I invite you guys to go over and download and watch that FTL episode. It was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Let's just say that just for a bit of context, that science advisors in science fiction are stupidly important because well, we all know that we've seen things in movies and gone, huh? That just makes no sense to me.
What do you mean? I thought everything that I see on TV is real. Come on, Ray.
That's not possible.
But you sort of you go over these things depending on, like, I'm a scientist, right? So I've got science understanding, the way you plan things out to be safe, and all that sort of thing. And then when I watched FTL and the pilot didn't have his helmet on when he went to FTL, and I'm like, that seems strange. Like, if the ship could get damaged, you should have your helmet on to protect you from, like, if things broke off in the.
We'll get to that bridge when we get there, man.
And I brought this up with the writer director, and he said, yeah, the original plan was to have him wearing the helmet, but you couldn't hear him. You couldn't hear the actor talking because the helmet was blocking. And
it's though, because you cannot hear anything on space anyways, right?
It's the situation of you're making a short movie on a shoestring, and you can't always work around these issues that, obviously, if it was a multi-billion-dollar space program, you would have the money to sort this shit out, because you'd have to, because the person would be in a little ship planning to go to FTL out in space by themselves. So everything would have to work first time, every time, for any sort of safety at all. Whereas what was actually happening was there was an actor wearing a pretend helmet, acting as somebody going to FTL, and you couldn't hear him. So they had to do it with the helmet off. And I said, fair enough.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to bring that up is because that's one of the examples that I can pull up where we had an idea what's going on. We reached out to we asked questions out to the actual creator, and we would never guess what the answer was, which made a lot of sense. Like, if we would not sit down with the creator and ask those questions, we would never know. And that's one of the coolest things that I think about whenever we have guests like that.
I think that it's more interesting when you ask the question and they go, you spotted it. And they go, so what's the answer? And they'll go, you tell me what the answer is. It's like, crap.
Just tell me.
Just fucking tell me. What did you wrote the thing?
When we do that, it's just a denial or a rejection to allow us to play ourselves fools for an audience.
Awesome. Okay, so I just want to speak about this thing before we close the live. Boy, I was planning for 20 to 30 minutes, and
the chaos showed up.
We're hopeless. I know, we're hopeless. We can't short. We can't do short. Sorry.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that we are making changes, and not big changes. So you might see, and this is towards the comment that I said at the beginning of the live, that we were going to talk about the future of the show. And there's going to be some changes. You guys are going to see some changes on, periodically. It's not going to be all of a sudden through the show. But I just wanted to mention it so people be aware of the changes, and reach out. Do reach out to us and let us know if you like the changes that we're making, and what would you like to hear, as well as what kind of shows you like us to do next. So I'm going to open it up to us here. What do you think? What do you have to add to that to the future of the show? And we can take any turn.
I
So
kind of had my turn at the start of season 2, so I'm kind of done.
oh, the pressure, free the pressure.
Wow. I'm excited to see the dynamic and like maybe adding surprise segments every once in a while and um I don't know, mostly the dynamic is fun and different perspectives, like you said, not just a female perspective, but adding a new person to a group
Yes.
is adds a whole new perspective, makes people think a little harder. So
No, we said that at the beginning of the show too. And Ray, I'm going to echo you when you said I'm really excited to see what's going to come out of this because there's a new chemistry that it's just added to the show, and that is like when you're mixing a cocktail. You know,
yeah.
every ingredient would make the drink taste different because all the there's chemistry and one will react different with this one than with the other, and we're going from three now to four individuals. Although I would have to admit, and let me know if you guys agree with this, I'm a little afraid because I feel like three is a little bit more like chaos than the two of them.
Oh, female chaos. Okay.
I don't know. I hear the
Sorry,
conversation.
guys.
You guys,
The yin and the yang.
but yeah,
I can
that's
see Robert and I just sitting back and letting you two go at it.
5 hours later.
oh, so yeah. I don't know, chaos. You weren't here when we were talking about that. So if you want to add anything to it, but I'm honestly I'm really excited to see. We already got a preview of what's happening on this show. You guys are going to be you're going to be exposed to this tomorrow. Just remember, we release episodes whenever we do have episodes. We release on Saturday at 7 p.m. A.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
Look out, and then that episode releases the same day, the same time, a month later on our YouTube channel. So just make sure and subscribe to all our socials and make sure that you ring that bell because you never know when you're going to go on one of these lives.
Yeah, and now I just remember everybody. Like we are always live on Discord.
Yes,
Although you can catch us like real life.
yeah, awesome.
I'd just like to thank all the people on X, Facebook. What else have
Yes.
we got there? We're on Twitch. We're also on YouTube. I think we're also on TikTok. So I'm sure all the TikTok people with the short attention spans have like clicked off us, but that's okay.
Hey, yeah, I think in
Hey,
general,
why do you look away?
Me? You're the one that was waiting. You're like, oh, yeah, I got a show.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
I'm an Instagram addict.
Yeah, I'm more Instagram than TikTok. And those are like 30 seconds, okay, and 10 photos. I
There
have
you
a
go.
longer attention span.
nice. Hey, chaos. I think Angelus is saying something.
Oh, wait up, because I went full screen. Jealous said, did the spinner at the end of Inception stop?
Oh,
You want me to tell you the truth, Angelus? Yes.
Tell you the truth.
We can have that
You heard it here live.
conversation, though, but I can tell you why. He said, actually, the question will be if live reaction clips to various sci-fi trailers, etc., will still be a thing. Oh, of course, man.
oh, yes, we cannot stop
I have
doing
to stop being a thing. We've just been busy, you know. but we actually have that on the burner because that's something like fun that we get to do. That doesn't have to be a long format podcast neither, but it's just like reactive, which is kind of relaxed for us.
Yeah, we're gonna bring some of those.
And then he said,
Um,
then lastly, Robert, think of it from the tabletop game D&D. More players add more dynamics, but more chaotic. As you said, trying to hook them all in the same direction of the story. Yeah, that never works out.
The herding of the cats shall be
Nobody
epic.
plays along.
so you
The
trying
herd,
to say that the show might be a little longer because
probably.
Yeah, the best thing that
Probably.
I'm able to achieve is the cat D&D Animalian game that I play every Saturday where I can. And we kind of follow a direction there. Like people try to like pull us apart. Sometimes we have two groups going up at once, so our poor DM has to be playing two games parallel.
Oh no.
oh,
Been
well,
there, done that, suffered through
Yeah.
it. Well, I'd just like to thank the community for joining us today. You're part of the show's growth as well. We really do appreciate you joining us on the lives and the recordings when they come out. Do look forward to them. They should be lots of fun in the future with Bree added to the mix. I think there will be much more chaos, so just be ready for that. Out to the This is Sci-Fi community connections. Always great to have people letting us know what they're creating and what they're watching this week and what they're interested in. I actually started watching Alien Earth, and I want to get back to it. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Don't forget to follow, join Discord, and subscribe. Getting connected to us really helps us grow and helps us expand through the platforms and it exposes us to more listeners. So if you could like and subscribe, that would really help in whichever platform you happen to be on. And don't forget that tomorrow night, is it tomorrow night? Oh, it's tomorrow morning. When does the next show come out, Robert? Is it tomorrow morning, US? You're muted.
the next show comes out basically tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Which is about midnight in Australia. So, yeah. Keep an eye out for that one because that will be Bree's first outing. And we had a lot of fun with that one. So do have a listen. We'd really appreciate it. And, of course, you can catch Bree on our Discord. You can let us know what you thought of her involvement. And any suggestions that you might have, do mention them on Discord. Chaos is still waiting for his 1-star review. Even our solar system only has 1 star, so it got in before him. But you can let us know what you think of the episode and Bree's involvement. And you can also suggest other IPs that we could cover or tell us what you're watching right now, because we're all about sci-fi conversations. So we want to know what you're interested in. We hope that you're interested in what we're interested in because we're covering on a podcast. And we hope that you will join us again for other lives and other episodes of the Science Fiction Remnant podcast. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next live.